Very nice little happy wolf. My mother drew these. I added my own little smiley face on this guy just to make him look a little happier. We're all, I'm sure by this point, familiar with the idea that we're capable of anything, right? There's good and bad in everybody. It's the choices we're making, right? It all comes down to that. So let's start with a quick story. There was a Native American chief of the Cherokee tribe who was talking to one of his sons one day, and the son was saying, "Look, father, like I feel all these different emotions in me. Like I feel like I'm capable of so much. I'm capable of doing so much bad and so much good. How does that work?" And the father was speaking to him, and he said, "Think of it this way: there are two wolves inside you. You have a good wolf and an evil wolf, and they're in constant battle with each other, right? These choices we have to make. That's that moment of choice there." And the son said, "You know, which wolf wins in the end?" And the grandfather said, "The one you feed, right? That's going to be the stronger wolf in the end." So let's think of these as kind of our self-view, right? A lot of us come into this very hard on ourselves, right? We're our worst critic. We feed into a lot of these ideas that we can't do this, right? We've tried and 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 can't. We say the word can't a lot. So let's do a little exercise here. Will anyone here who has never ever lost a pound successfully, please raise your hand? There are no hands up here. I don't think anyone's raising their hands at home either, right? So it's not that we can't do it. We've done it before. We've all lost weight before to some extent. It's not that we can't do it. It's that we tell ourselves we can't do it. That's a huge, this is all, we say it all the time. This is 95 to 100% a problem up here. It all starts up here, between the ears. Which wolf are you going to feed? Are we going to keep buying into those ideas, those lies we tell ourselves that we can't do it, we can't do it, we can't do it? It's not that we can't do it, it's that we won't do it. And we won't do it because we're telling ourselves we can't do it. We're feeding into the lies we're telling ourselves. We've done it. We've all lost, like no one here raised a hand, right? We've all had to some extent, successful weight loss. We can do it. It's not easy all the time. And it's a lot harder when you're feeding this guy, when you're just buying into those thoughts, those negative things. You know, we talked a few weeks ago about getting support, right? That's a huge part of this. A lot of times, I need support from other people to tell me that I can do it. Because sometimes I can feed into those lies, you know, as well. I did for a long time. It's a lot easier not to now because I've been working at it for so long. Those things can still creep in, for sure. And this doesn't, a lot of the stuff we're talking about here, you can apply to so many areas of life, right? I mean, have you ever had a goal other than weight loss? We have lots of goals in life, lots of things we want to achieve. And we feed into this all the time. Things get difficult. I really like making music. I'm a musician. I have a lot of fun recording in a little basement studio that I've made and that sort of stuff. And while I love doing it, a lot of times it's hard work. I have to sit there. I have to parcel things out and figure out how it's going to go. And I'll work on one little piece for hours at a time, trying to get it to work right. And it's hard. And a lot of times I used to at least, just say, this is too much. It's never going to be the way I want it to be. I give up. But over time and sticking with it and dedicating, you know, at least an hour of my day to go down no matter what, just to chip away at something, and then I get to that end result and I say it was totally worth it. I've made what I wanted to do. And that goes with me feeding into this. Looking at the success that I could have, that I've achieved through hard work, and not feeding into this guy and saying I can't do it. You gotta believe. Right, Dottie?
Absolutely.
Dottie knows. She knows the deal. She's even got a tattoo to remind herself every day, right?
Yep.
For sure. Yeah, we need it. That's why the meetings are pretty great, if I do say so myself. So I want to take this a step further a little bit today and put this kind of into something a little more practical. You know, there's always that hype yourself up in the mirror in the morning. I can do this, right? That's a good way to kind of get yourself worked up. But I was watching this movie recently. It was a documentary. I'm actually going to wait for the big reveal because I've done my own works of art under this. Pretty nice. watching this movie on Netflix called Hungry for Change. It was a documentary. It covers pretty much the grand scope of food in America and the food problems we have in America with all our processed stuff and everything's canned and everything's, you know, fast food, blah, blah, blah. They cover diets. They cover everything. And a lot of their philosophy in that movie is pretty much what you've all heard, what we're talking about here, the lifestyle change. It's not a diet. It's not something that you just cut out, you know, a certain food item and you're going to lose weight. You know, it's not a crash thing. It's not, you know, juicing. It's none of this. It's learning how to eat healthy, sustainably for the rest of your life, right? That's what this movie was all about. And it was really, really fantastic. I recommend you watch it if you have Netflix, which pretty much everyone does. So they had this idea that it's not depriving, you know, it's the mental thing, right? Once a lot of people jump on the diet train and that I can't comes in, not necessarily that I can't do this, but I can't have this, I can't have this. The deprivation thing, you feel deprived, you start a new diet and it's no carbs and you say, well, I can't have this. And instantly you're in this mental starvation mode where you're like, feel so deprived. Now, if we flip that a little bit into what can I have now? Look at all these great new options, healthier foods, green vegetables, fresh fruit, all this sort of stuff, lean proteins, whole grains, right? If you start just incorporating good stuff, forget about the stuff you can't have. Just start bringing in new good things. Eventually, there's no room for the bad stuff anymore. You keep adding in different fruits, different vegetables, different recipes you love, all the whole grains. Eventually, there's no room for the bad stuff. So, taking this good and evil idea, let's make it practical and applicable here. So, I worked really, really hard on these. Tried about 15 times to get exactly how I want it. So here we have our good little apple, right? Our fresh fruit. He's so delicious and good for us. And here, this is supposed to be a cookie. It's not a smiley face or a frowny face with chicken pox or anything like that. This just represents all that junk. Let's go through a list real quick. You know, my brother all the time, he's got a food monster inside him, like myself and a lot of us here. He loves food. And I've pre-planned a few days with him. And at lunch at school, he's supposed to get a sandwich on a whole grain roll with, you know, some slices of turkey, a slice of American cheese. And then I've been pressing him. Look, get some shredded lettuce on there. It's iceberg lettuce. It's just crunch. It's nothing. He's gone with his plan to school 5 times or so since I started planning with him. And I ask him every day, did you get your lettuce on your sandwich? He's like, no, I don't like it. No, I don't like it. And all I can do is keep telling him, this will forever be difficult for you. It's always going to be hard until you learn to like and incorporate lots of vegetables in, lots of fresh fruit in. It's got to be a huge portion of the food we're eating. I used to hate vegetables, and I still don't really eat salad. Not a big salad fan. It doesn't have to be salad. Everyone turns to salad right away. It's pretty easy, I guess. But
you can do so much fun stuff.
Huh?
You can do so much fun stuff.
You can do so much fun stuff with salad. Oh, whenever you're
Yes,
talking
you
about.
can.
Okay, it's possible.
I had pecans, cranberries, and a pear on my salad last night. You can put pears on your salad. You can do anything you want.
Do whatever you want. Some goat cheese.
Some goat cheese on there too. Anything you want.
That's pretty good. It looked pretty yummy. I'm not a salad fan. I'll eat it. I like salad enough. I'd rather have something really tasty. I hated vegetables. I would not eat them. I remember one night when I was 12 or 13, there was one piece of asparagus on my plate, and I sat there for about 2.5 hours before I finally ate it. I had to sit at the table. My mom made me sit there, and it didn't stick so well. She didn't do it every night to make me love it. I had to learn to like vegetables, and it has changed my life completely. Some meals, I will eat meals with 0 carbs. I like to get my carbs in. You know, we don't like to cut everything out. You know, that's an important part of our diet as well. I like to have it for breakfast and lunch because that gives me my energy for the day. Then I don't have carbs for dinner because that's my trouble time. And carbs are trigger foods for me. I just want to keep eating them. So I can get my energy in the day, get all the fiber and the nutrients I need from the carbohydrates, all that energy. Still an important part of my diet. But for dinner, it's mostly lots of veggies. And, you know, I'm going to have a chicken sausage here actually for lunch. It's delicious. I had to learn to like it This is something we all have to work at, or it will forever be difficult. It really will. Think of, you know, those 100-calorie packs. I say it all the time. A 100-calorie pack, you know, those little snack packs, Nabisco or whatever brand you like. How much food are you getting for 100 calories? Bagel, nothing, 0, really. That we say it, right? It's the only flavor they have is more, right? Now think about 100 calories of vegetables. Got to learn to like them. Or you're going to, you know, be hungry between meals, and you're going to be saying, I can't do this, and feeding into the bad wolf, because it's a lot harder when you don't like vegetables. It makes all the difference. So I'm riding my brother. I'm hoping he eats carrots. That's a start. But, you know, if he can find a variety of vegetables that he likes, that he's not going to get tired of, he can roast them, he can saute them in a little bit of olive oil, he can steam them, you can do anything with vegetables. But you got to learn to like them. So let's go through some of the foods. What are some do we have a lot of veggie eaters here?
Yes.
I think everybody here is a pretty good vegetable eater.
Well, I'm kind of like that. I don't put things on my sandwiches either.
Uh-huh.
And I'm trying to eat tomatoes, but I don't like tomatoes.
I'm the same way.
I eat ketchup on everything. It's
Sure.
weird, and sauce. but-
Sure.
So I just try to get, if I get it, I get a thin. I go, could you put a thin piece of
Sure.
tomato? Because I'm trying to eat.
You're
healthy,
trying
and
to-
Now I'm better at it.
Me too.
So if you do a thin piece, if you get a big chunk, I end up pulling it out. 'cause
I hear
the
ya.
texture of it,
Tomatoes is one of the most polarizing foods out there. You either love tomatoes, or if you're like me, or were like me, you hate tomatoes. And I still am not good with tomatoes. I can stomach a couple, you know, tomatoes in a salad. It started with me putting it on sandwiches,
Yeah.
right? You incorporate it with foods you like. You know, it kind of masks it a little. It kind of hides the taste or the texture.
It fills you up more too. If you're just eating
Does.
a skinny little turkey burger.
Oh, yeah.
With nothing on it but mustard. Or
Right.
something. If you put lettuce and a little piece of tomato, and it does fill you a little.
I hear
So
ya.
I try to eat them, but I just do thinner pieces of them.
Right, absolutely.
that way
And
it tastes
yeah, I also hated tomatoes for sure. And I'm not going to go out in the summer and pick a tomato off the vine and
Yeah, I
eat
know,
it.
people sit there and
People eat it like an apple sometimes, like those vine tomatoes. That's not me. But I'm at the point where I've learned, at the very least, to stomach it. And even now I'm getting to the point where I miss it on my turkey burger or whatever, you know. I like that slice of tomato. And the more I incorporate it, the more I work at it, liking these foods, the easier my journey is going to get when you incorporate these things.
Pegger just mentioned what I was going to say, which is most veggies are great grilled. It is grilling season.
Yeah.
Take full advantage of that.
The one thing.
Peppers, asparagus, anything. You can put it on the grill, and all of a sudden it's great.
Yeah, delicious. Absolutely. Watch out for asparagus, though. That stuff dries out real quick on the grill. I had some real stringy, stick-like asparagus the other day. It wasn't great. I didn't do so good. So let's make a quick list of some things. Of all the let's go over some things we don't want to have anymore, all right? Let's turn this into, I'm going on this side now.
Not that we don't want to have it. Cake.
Not that we don't want to have it, but things, sure, right? Ooh. New marker is needed here. And we'll also talk about why we don't want these things as we go.
That's my chocolate.
Chocolate you can make work. I still plan chocolate into my day.
Yeah, I have a bite every now and then, but I don't sit and eat a whole candy bar.
Right. What's a big problem? Here's a big problem with cake, right? The flour is usually already processed. You're not eating whole grain cake, right? No one's ever like, try our new 12-grain cake. Nobody.
I wish they'd make one.
Yeah, right? That'd be pretty good.
One cake is not bad.
No, the 3-2-1 cake's pretty good. It's light. That's a great way to get some of those flavors from the old world that we want in the new world, right? That sort of stuff. But this is processed flour and tons of sugar, which these simple sugars go right into your bloodstream, spike your blood sugar levels, and then they're used up and they're gone. Like this. Like this. When you eat whole grains, it's sort of like when you have a 24-hour allergy pill or like your 4-hour Benadryl, right? The 4-hour Benadryl goes through your system and then your allergies come right back, right? If you take that long release, that slow release type tablet, it releases throughout the day. That's the idea with whole grains, because it's got all the fiber in it, it's got all like the shell of the seed, it's got all those nutrients that they haven't extracted. The processed flour really is pre-digested food. It's like someone ate it for you and then spit it out and said, here, you eat the rest. Seriously, it's what it's like. It goes right through your body, right into your bloodstream, spikes your sugar, it's down again, and then you're hungry. Whereas if you switch to the whole grain stuff, let's have something we can have over here, right? We can add on the other side.
It's true because I only eat Ezekiel bread.
Mhm.
It's all grain.
Oh yeah, yep.
And I know because I have low blood sugar.
Mhm.
I have to eat like every 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
when I go out and I have to have a burger or something on the road.
Mhm.
I take half the bun off and I just eat one. But within 2 hours, I'm already needing something.
Oh, yeah.
When I eat my Ezekiel in the morning, I
Mhm.
can go 4 hours.
Yeah, because your
It goes
body
slower.
has
That's
to
what I
work
like.
at breaking down all the stuff
The grains.
that isn't pre-digested in the,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
lasts me much longer.
enriched flour or whatever, you know, the processed flours and all that sort of stuff. All right, so cake, what else?
Chocolate, but I do have
You can make
low
chocolate work. I'm a dark chocolate guy. Learn to like dark chocolate. There's lots of good, healthy stuff in there for you. You know, all those antioxidants, they call them, you know, all sorts of good stuff that goes into your body and your body utilizes in great ways.
Your online recipe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, what am I doing? I got a whole thing here. Reese's peanut butter eggs. Uh-huh. Reese's peanut butter.
And Santa's
Eggs.
and pumpkins and
Uh-huh.
whatever shape it is in.
It's no secret we like those all more because there's more peanut butter in those ones. Everybody knows that, right? Now these can also, like, I'm at the point in my journey where every once in a while
Yeah, you have one.
you can treat yourself. Now, you know, it's not like these things are totally off limits, but we've all gotten to the point we've gotten to because this is way too much of our diet, the stuff we're making in this list here. Right, I'm going to put one
What
on
about regular soda?
for myself. I really like this place Five Below.
Oh yeah.
And you can get 5 bags of Haribo gummy bears for $5. I used to be there like twice a week. This was a huge problem for me. Though I did just get a 3-pound bag of Haribo gummy bears for my birthday. And this is a sign that it gets better. I haven't been picking on it. It's in my cabinet. It's not even hidden away. I don't even want it because I've gotten to the point over the last couple years of learning I don't feel good when I eat all that stuff. My body has healed itself from this being the primary source of my diet, the list of bad stuff, to the point where I don't feel so good when I eat that.
No. How about liquor?
How about wine?
Maybe not too much, yeah, right?
I miss the most is my wine.
ETOH, that's ethyl alcohol. That's the active ingredient. You don't want to overdo it. Of course, you can have your glass of wine. Of course, you can have a beer every once in a while, that sort of stuff. But here in America, we've been indulging for way too long, right?
How about cheese and crackers? That's one.
Cheese, oh, that was a killer for me.
That's a bad one.
Now, in proper portions, this is all okay, right? Yeah, if we're having appropriate portion sizes, right, you can get whole grain crackers, you can get 2% cheese, even the full fat stuff, as long as you're portioning it out and not overdoing it. You're staying, you know, within the realm of your calories and all that stuff. This is something that was brutal for me.
With the wine,
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's just.
I would go through a box of Triscuits and a block of Cracker Barrel cheddar cheese, and that was my dinner, followed by dessert of 24
You can
uncooked
get good
cookie dough
crackers from
things.
Trader Joe's, though, like green
I love
crackers.
Trader Joe's. I wish the
I even
people...
buy brie 'cause I love brie. And
Oh,
I eat
peanut butter, jelly beans, Ritz, chips. Yeah, you see all this stuff. Peeps.
cheese.
Peanut butter.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Skinny cow.
If you look at this list, the issue with most of the stuff on its list, either it's high in sugar, high fructose corn syrup, processed flour, or it's stuff that we're eating too much of, right? Peanut butter is good if you have, you know, a single serving a day. It's hard, just like people say, you know, I need to have my handful of nuts. Got to have my handful of nuts. We have 100-calorie packs of nuts out there, and it's seriously like 10 almonds. Seriously, like 10. When I thought I was eating healthy, I would buy a pack of roasted almonds. I would finish half of it, and then I would finally get home and look at the label and be like, 700 calories, but it was healthy. It was good. It was fine. It doesn't work for weight loss or sustainable living. Even now, if I went back to that and started eating 700 calories worth of almonds a day on top of what I usually eat and thinking this is good for me, this is healthy, all comes down to portion size too.
My danger is pizza.
Oh, pizza for sure.
Pizza, and I can eat a whole pizza. So I just
Pizza.
stay away from it.
Yeah.
I just make
Now,
my
to be
own.
clear, this is not stuff you cannot have.
No, I make my own.
Right.
But
I hear ya.
regular go out for a pepperoni
Oh, yeah.
pizza,
I hear you. Uh-huh.
the whole pizza.
This is not stuff you cannot have. This is stuff that has gotten us to where we are.
I just want to mention, because we talk about pizza a lot, pizza's the worst. A member told me yesterday her strategy for pizza, because I guess she has a group of friends, they go out every Thursday or something for pizza. She brings her own giant salad, and she tells them when she gets there, I can't have pizza until I'm done with this salad. And she said it's so huge that by the time she's finished eating the salad, she's mostly full, the pizza's mostly gone, and whatever's left is cold.
Yeah.
So she doesn't want it anymore at that point. And then she makes sure that someone else takes it home. She knows, you know, I can't have those leftovers in my house.
Sure.
I thought it's certainly tough at first to be like, okay, I'm gonna eat this salad, but it works for her. That's a good idea. You don't have to give up going out with your friends because they're gonna be around pizza.
It's true.
Make something that works for you. Make a plan.
All right, so we have this list of things that we can't have in the quantities we've been having them. How about a list of the good stuff? Let's get into all the stuff we can have and should start incorporating in larger quantities than we have been. Now, whole grains you can still overdo. That's still a carb, right? You still don't want to go crazy on your carbs. But this is so much better than having Wonder Bread. Right? What else? Vegetables. Let's go to some particular vegetables. What's your favorite vegetable? Broccoli. Mine too. It's my favorite. Spinach? Spinach? That one was tough for me to get into, but I forced myself to like it, and guess what? I really like it now. It's practice. I got to put the time into it and the effort to learn to like it. Yeah, for sure.
Asparagus.
Asparagus. Asparagus. Cauliflower. C-A-U, right?
Yeah, I roasted for college.
I'm going to put one on. I love eggplant.
Oh, I love it.
Pegger says peppers.
Peppers.
Spaghetti squash from Renee.
Oops. Spaghetti squash.
Yes. Sweet potato.
Sweet potatoes. Mmm.
Corn on the cob.
Corn on the cob.
What do you do about that?
You need it.
I grill corn all the time. Grill it. You know, take I take your oil mister, or I like Carlini brand olive oil spray. It's just aerosolized olive oil. It's 1 second is 7 calories. So I can cover a thing of corn in 2 seconds. 14 calories to kind of coat it so it'll cook nicely. A little salt and pepper. Throw that right on the grill. Grilled corn is so good.
Can you get it in the microwave?
You can do it in the microwave, sure. Why not? I would put it in a bowl, you know, kind of a microwave-safe bowl, a little bit of water in the bottom, a couple tablespoons, and then cover that with saran wrap. Saran wrap is microwavable. If you want to steam vegetables real quick, I take a glass bowl or something, throw some veggies in there, a couple tablespoons of water, you put the saran wrap on top, put it in for a couple minutes, and it creates steam, right? You know, it heats up the water, and it's like a quick steam of your vegetables. Same idea of those vegetables in a bag that you steam. You know, the bird's eye stuff, you throw in the microwave and it's ready to go. You can do that at home with fresh vegetables. It doesn't have to be the frozen stuff. I shop at Aldi, and they have heads of broccoli for $1.99. Like big old heads of broccoli. That's pretty cheap. You can do pretty well there. I bring it home, I either roast it in the oven or I steam it in the microwave with my saran wrap on top. It's quick eating and really good for me, and I've learned to love it. It's really good stuff.
I use a paper towel, and I really wet the paper towel, and I wrap the corn in it and put it in the microwave.
Just do it like, yeah, that's great. That works too. That's a good idea. Soak a paper towel and put it around the ear of corn.
Corn on the cob. You count that as a carb.
It's a carb.
It's a carb.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Still higher in fiber than a lot of other carbs. It's a whole grain, right? You don't get more whole than on the cob.
Depends on the size of the corn on the cob.
Sure, yeah, calorie-wise, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's true.
Don't drown it in butter.
Strawberries, blackberry. We didn't even get to fruit here, right?
Corn is like a base for butter.
Berries. And now that summer's coming, this stuff is everywhere.
Watermelon.
Watermelon. You can have a lot of watermelon. Cantaloupe. Honeydew, let's get married, but we cantaloupe. Yeah, you like that one. It's a great joke.
For me,
Classic.
it's PB2.
PB2. We can link that up with our, wherever it is, peanut butter. You can still have that, right? I can do 4 tablespoons of PB2 at a time, 90 calories with a piece of fruit. You know? That's a really hearty snack, high in protein, high in fiber with my apple or whatever. Delicious.
Grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch.
Yum. Dottie brings she comes to work here, and a lot of times she brings her PB2 peanut butter and jelly sandwich on whole grain bread, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's
For sure.
Can I add goat cheese to the list? I mean, I
Goat
know we're
cheese
doing
is
fruits
yummy.
and veggies,
Oh,
but
yeah.
an ounce of goat cheese is like 70 calories, which is like a pretty substantial amount of
And goat cheese is really pungent, really flavorful, so a little bit goes a long way, right? Goat cheese is awesome. That's something I had to learn to like. It just sounds weird because it's from a goat, right?
Cow cheese.
Cow cheese. You're a fan of cow cheese. Uh-huh.
Paid a lot of cow cheese.
You got to get into this goat cheese stuff. Seriously, give it a try. If you like cream cheese, it's like cream cheese but more flavorful. A real punch in your face of cream cheese, but it's really fantastic. So, so good. Look at this list. There's no more room to write. Now, like I said, it's not that you can't have these, but this is what we want to make the base of our diet. You know the food pyramid? Remember the food pyramid? It's got, you know, your grains at the bottom. It's got your meat and veggies and dairy and blah, blah, blah. And then at the top, that tiny little triangle, that little one that just looks like it has stars in it. I don't even know what's in there. That's like your fats and sugars and all that sort of stuff, your sweets. We've made that most of our triangle for a long time. We need to make this most of our triangle. And once we do, you're barely going to want this stuff. It will be what it's supposed to be, a treat, a snack, every once in a while. For me, it might be even a handful of gummy bears at the end of the day. 50 calories. Satisfies my sweet tooth. Could be my 100-calorie Trader Joe's 70% dark chocolate bar that takes me about 15 minutes to eat. It's like this big, and I go at it. It's delicious. Before, all this stuff was the base of my diet, and it got me to 250 pounds. Then I made the switch. This stuff was the base of my diet. I was feeding the good apple, right? I wasn't feeding into this stuff. It was this stuff. So don't think about the stuff you can't have, the deprivation, blah, blah, blah. Look at all this stuff we can have. And in big quantities, all these vegetables and fruits, and you can have a whole lot of vegetables. I make my 199 heads of broccoli roasted in the oven, and I say, Alyssa, you can't have any. And I get 3.5 to 4 cups of broccoli with the chicken sausage, and that's my dinner, and I am full, I am satisfied, I am getting my vitamins, my nutrients, my iron, my magnesium, whatever, calcium, blah, blah, blah. We're not getting anything from this stuff except pleasure in the moment. Tastes good. It'll release some endorphins in your brain that says, that was yummy. But your body is going to thank you for this, and you are going to be thankful you made this switch. Make stuff like this the majority of your diet. It's simple as that. And if you don't like this stuff, talk to me and we'll find a way to make you like it. You got to work at it. My brother is going to struggle until he learns to like vegetables and just heavily incorporate them. It took me a long time, but I'm there, and I am so glad I'm there. It's awesome. So feed into this stuff, not into this stuff, and we'll recap this one too. Feed into this guy. And you're going to be able to feed him a lot more when you're eating this stuff, because you're going to feel good, you're going to feel better, you're going to see you can do it, and we won't be feeding into this guy anymore. Forget him. Don't feed him. Feed him. And feed him the good stuff. Pretty basic. All right, so Mother's Day's coming, I realize. I've got a tall order ahead of me with my mother. There is a recipe online for these little, delicious little 100-calorie or so hash brown nests. You make a little nest hash brown out of shredded potato, which you can get in the freezer aisle, pre-shredded, which is what I would do. Or you could, shred your own potato. You make these little nests. They're about 35, 40 calories for the potato nest. And then you crack an egg in there, cook it up, and there you go. You have breakfast. Throw it back in the oven. It's delicious. The recipe's online. But I'm going to make one of my favorite dinners. You know I'm a Trader Joe's guy. I say it all the time. Sorry, folks at home who don't have Trader Joe's near you. But you can get all sorts of similar stuff wherever you go. Any grocery store is going to have chicken sausage and blah, 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 all these good things.
Sorry, he didn't have what he needed.
Oh, oops.
Yeah, I'm ready to give AAA the boot because this is the second time I've called them. And
So I have my chicken sausage here. This is the sun-dried tomato basil, one of my favorites. This is 110 calories, loaded in protein. Delicious. I usually freeze them. This was frozen. I just defrosted it in the microwave. I have my panini press here, though I'm not making a panini today. This is just the easiest thing to cook out on here. I usually just make this in a skillet at home. All I'm going to do, I'm going to take my sausage, put it in the skillet or here on my panini press, just to kind of crisp it up on the outside and heat it through the middle. It's fully cooked, so ta-da.
Do you buy a certain brand of chicken sausage? 'Cause
This is Trader Joe's brand. Yep, I love Trader Joe's. They have like 12 or 15 different varieties of flavors. I really like this, the sweet basil pesto. That one's a little higher. It's 60 calories more, but it's a pork casing. It's like a serious sausage. It's delicious. They have Asiago cheese and mushroom. They have regular sweet Italian sausage, spicy Italian sausage, all with chicken, because most sausage is like pork-based sausage, which is really fatty, you know, so you're cutting tons of calories. It's really delicious and flavorful. So, and then all I have is a bag of the classic coleslaw mix. Now, it's not coated in mayo yet, like they usually do, right? One serving of this is 1.5 cups, and it's only 20 calories. Like, come on, you can't do much better than that. So I just take out some of it. I'm going to measure it out in my cup here. Got 1 cup. 2 cups will probably do it for me. 2 cups. Yeah, what the heck. I like it. I learned to like it. I didn't always like this stuff.
I cook that too. It's good.
Yeah, you can totally wilt this down a little.
And you can saute it, and it's really good.
Uh-huh. This is a great place to start if you're not a veggie lover, because it's essentially just like iceberg lettuce. You're just learning to like cold, crispy, fresh, fibrous food. It's a great place to start if you're not a vegetable lover. And it's high in fiber. It's going to fill you up when I eat all this. That's a lot of food. What is this? This is 40 calories. That's 40 calories worth of food. Imagine those 100-calorie packs. Twice the calories and a 30th of the food, right? Veggies, I'm telling you. And then I have also Trader Joe's sesame soy ginger vinaigrette. It's 35 calories for 2 tablespoons. Really yummy. So I'm just going to measure out 2 tablespoons. You see how long this is taking me, right? This is like no time. This is quick. Doesn't have to be difficult. If you don't like to cook, I like to cook, but oftentimes we don't have the time. All you need to do is just keep some shredded cabbage in your fridge and some dressing, and keep some chicken sausages in your freezer, which, you know, they'll last for a long, long time in your freezer.
I just want to say that we have a head of cabbage in the fridge at home, but Adam had to stop at the grocery store today because he likes it already shredded for him.
I
So
want to
Adam
keep
will
it easy.
teach you to cook in the easiest way possible.
The easiest way. We'll make this as
I
painless
said
as
we
possible.
have cabbage. It's not already cut up, so it's
All
not
right,
going to
this
work.
is almost ready. Oh, yeah. And then I just toss this together. I probably, if this was my dinner, would have only done 2 cups. But what the heck.
So you eat 1 sausage with it?
1 sausage with it, and I'm going to show you another trick with the sausage. You can stretch it out a little more. I really like the contrast of the hot, flavorful, salty sausage, a little bit of crisp, with the cold, sweet, crunchy of this. It's a great texture and temperature contrast in food. So, so good. Get some cups here to divvy up some bites. All right, so my chicken sausage is heated through. Comes out nice and crispy, delicious. And then, watch how I cut this. The bites of the sausage, it's packed with flavor. A little bit goes a long way. We eat with our eyes first, right? I make nice, thin slices.
Which flavor is that?
This is the sun-dried tomato basil.
I love sun-dried tomatoes, but I don't like real tomatoes.
I know, I'm the same way. I start,
sweeter, though.
yeah, they are, right? The roasting brings out that sweetness of the tomato. Yeah, for sure.
I think it's a texture thing for me.
So I got how many bites out of this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We'll cut this one in half because it's a little thicker. 15. 15 bites. Really good bites. So I get a little bit with a nice big bunch of this stuff, of this cabbage here. So I'm just going to portion out some little bites here. That's a bite.
You would have this for dinner?
I would. Absolutely. This is oftentimes the only thing I'll eat for dinner. And it's so filling because I get all of this. That fills up my stomach.
Do you have
really
anything else
satisfied.
with it, like another vegetable or anything, or no?
So a lot of times, no. This is a great lunch. Let's see, 110 calories plus 40 calories. I'm at 150 plus 35, 185 calories. 185 calories for my dinner. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. If you think about it, you know, a couple hundred years ago, a huge portion of what we were eating was vegetables, because we didn't have mass farming and you know, meat in the market all the time and preserved everything. Vegetables were a staple of our diet, the biggest portion. So we have to get back to that. That's how our body is meant to operate, with lots of good veggies in you, lots of good fruits, and of course, you know, some protein and some carbs, but we got to fill up on the veggies here. So feed the good wolf the good food. All right? Believe in yourself. If you don't, come talk to us. That's what we're here for. Sometimes we need motivation, we need support, we need someone to believe in us, because oftentimes we don't believe in ourselves. But don't feed the bad wolf anymore. If you find yourself feeding him, give us a call. Come on in. Text a friend. Talk to a friend. Talk to one of us. Get help for that, because that's doing nothing but bad for us. So feed the good wolf the good stuff, and you'll be successful. All right. That's it. Come try some of this stuff.
Your mom says you can show some of the other sausage flavors if you want. They're in the fridge.
I can do that later.
Yes.
We have a publisher coming here to see what we do and possibly purchasing our options book next Tuesday at noon. I know you're all Thursday evening attenders, but we want to kind of pack the place out. So if you can come Tuesday at noon, I'm sure Adam would mind getting up, or better yet, come to 2 meetings. So Tuesday at noon, we'd love to have you guys here.
Okay.
That would be good. That would really appreciate it. We love the support. And Adam came up with this, and I've been eating it ever since. I did lose weight this week, 5.6 pounds. And I use the broccoli sauce sometimes. Very light, just like his. And these are some other flavors if you want to look. This one is spicy jalapeno. This one is 100 calories.
That's only 100? I've seen some links that are only 90 calories too. And you know, if you want a fuller meal, there's nothing to stop you from throwing 2 links of sausage on, you know?
Yeah,
You have the
that's what I
calories
did
for it.
last night for dinner. Take curry chicken sausages, and they're very similar. So just read the back. They range. I found a buffalo chicken for 70, and it was just as big. Really spicy. You'd have to, like, it was too much to eat alone, and I'm a spice person.
Yeah.
But when you sliced it up like he does in this huge bowl, and sometimes I'll eat the whole bag of slaw if I'm really hungry. And the dressings are this one here.
The one that you like, the hot one.
Oh, I don't know where I got it from. Do you know the buffalo chicken I have here?
Oh, yeah, I don't know right now.
And Ellen is the use of the last one home to try it, but I can actually still the package. But the dressing's only 35 calories for 2 tablespoons. It's so good. It's sesame soy ginger. I do too. So don't forget Tuesday, I'm sure Adam will be contributing them. How are you?
All right, that was delish. I know I bought the, I think it's Paul Prudhomme, it's a garlic and cheese one. It's really good. But I don't know the calories, I'll have to check it. I haven't made them.
And some of them,
I haven't made the chicken sausage in a while. Maybe it's turkey sausage, I don't know, but.
some of them though, they're chicken sausage, but they're in the pork casing, so those are higher calories. Like if it's chicken sausage in chicken casing, that's
And
gonna
I
be
try to watch the
But
salt,
just
'cause
check.
some of them have a lot of sodium, you gotta watch that. I have blood pressure, so. But they're good, I'm starting to get used, I used to cook them and put onions and peppers in with them. You can even make a sandwich. It's so good. Or put them in spaghetti sauce and make like your own, like a meat sauce, but with sausage, but it tastes really good. If you get a craving for sauce, I'm not a sauce person, but those are delicious.
Thanks, Adam.
Yeah, have a good one.